Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy at the PBC, Pelican Bay K9s, where I give you that breaking news for them dogs, for them pets around the world. However it come around the world. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving, man. Having a great weekend thus far. We got a long weekend for the brothers and sisters that's off for the rest of the weekend. Got a long week, but I hope y'all taking care and staying legal out there, man. Got some updated news from Newton County. But first, we're going to speak about this real quick. You know, when it comes to these dogs, all breeds, you know, they cost, some dogs you make them get $300 or $400. You know, like I said, all breeds. From mixed breed, you make them get this dog for $50. Then you got dogs that may cost you $20,000, $50,000. It just depends on what kind of dog you want. You know, at the end of the day, you know, everybody can, when it comes to these dogs, and if it's something you like, everybody can work hard to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? It's no need for nobody to hate the next person because they got a dog and you jealous or envious of that person or that dog. Go buy a dog like that or buy one from them. You see, what we coming to in this article, man, it's about brothers sitting back, counting your pockets, trying to count your pockets. Brothers sitting back, like I said before, with no ambition, no will, don't want to do shit with yourself. Then you're looking at these other folk over here with these dogs. You got to be careful out there, brothers. My transporters, my brothers who making these sales out here, these folk will stick you up for your dog. You know what I'm saying? They'll stick you up for the dog. And this is what this article is talking about. You know what I'm saying? Well, we got some scumbag. We got a scumbag who robbed some a woman or a man, let's say, for I want to say 4 French bulldogs. You know what I'm saying? Didn't get away with them. About to go to prison over somebody else's property. You see, some folk just do stupid things, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you know, like I always say, they get dumb results. It's like, you know, if you can't afford it, stay out of the conversation. And it won't make you want to get whatever you conversating about. Stay out of the French Bulldog conversation. Stay out of the French Bulldog Facebook group if you can't afford one to get one or whatever, or not striving to get one in the future. And I tell you, and it's like this in every single breed. You brothers want Malinois, but you don't want to pay that price for what a Malinois really costs. You know, Malinois ain't no cheap dogs, with or without papers. See, pitbulls, you gotta have papers and all that shit. A Malinois, you don't gotta have all them fancy papers and all that shit, and it's still gonna go high. You know, but if you want something, you know, spend your hard-earned money for it. That's what I say and preach about these brothers all the time. You know what I'm saying? When y'all was out there stealing cars and all that shit, and we the same or near the same age, and you was out there stealing cars, I was spending my hard-earned money to pay for me a pit bull. You know, I mean, cause it's because it's what I wanted. If I want it, I'm gonna pay for it. It's how it is now. If I want it, I'm gonna pay for it. I'm not gonna go steal somebody else's stuff or steal something from the store and all this other. I'm gonna pay for it. Earn it. It's mine. Get your dollars. Here, let me get it. You know? But here, like I said, we got a situation of playing out jealousy, playing out envious, playing out can't work hard for your own shit, gotta go take somebody else's shit. You know, I mean, and I always say this, man, I always say this, sometimes we all make mistakes throughout life. But sometimes some things are not just, you know, regular mistakes. You know, sometimes things can be avoided. You know, you can't try to fit in with the Joneses if you can't live that lifestyle. A lot of us want to fit in with the Joneses, and we'll do anything to look like the Joneses. And And Facebook does a good job at that nowadays. Make you look like the Joneses, make you look like you're happy, make folk think, oh, I'm feeling this, I'm living life, you ain't doing shit. You still unhappy on the inside. So man, at the end of the day, like I said, let's go to this news clipping. I want to say it's somewhere upstate, you know what I'm saying? This guy arrested for armed robbery of 4 French bulldogs. Let's get into it.
Authorities have arrested a man from Newport News for armed robbery and stealing 4 expensive French bulldogs. Sunday, Caroline County deputies say a man tried to sell one of the dogs. We're told 37-year-old Ronald James met the man, then pulled a gun and took all 4 animals.
What's the matter with them Americans? We get more pussy than they do.
Police then tracked him down and arrested him in Hampton. Deputies responded to the parking lot of a Food Lion on November 23rd. Investigators say the seller was scheduled to meet a buyer for a French bulldog. But instead of paying, the buyer allegedly pulled out a gun, stealing all 4 dogs, each worth about $4,000. Officials say before speeding away, the buyer also stole a firearm the seller had inside the vehicle. Authorities identified the suspect as 37-year-old Ronald James.
This shitty-ass rabbit stinks. I know. He smells like pussy. You want it? He smells like the asshole. And motherfucker smells like wetback dick. They smell like a pile of bullshit.
They say an intensive investigation led them straight to a home in Hampton.
We were contacted by Caroline County to assist with the recovery of 4 French bulldogs. Hampton detectives assisted with a search warrant at a residence in the 100 block of Treslin Terrace.
James was arrested and then taken into custody without incident. He's now being held without bond on Caroline County warrants.
Individual involved was charged with, had 6 charges: robbery by displaying a firearm, conspiracy to commit robbery, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, use of a firearm in commission of a felony, grand larceny of the 4 bulldogs, French bulldogs, and then grand larceny of a firearm.
And as for the animals,
and when they did the search warrant, they were able to locate the 4 French bulldogs, and animal control was contacted.
Police say the dogs remain under the care of Hampton Police Animal Control and will eventually be reunited with their owner. Now, the Caroline County Sheriff's Office says more charges are likely.
I want to send a big thank you to the brother Paul Johnson, Bradford Anderson, Guy Colston, brother Bruce Banner. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that supported the channel over the past few days or just in general supporting the channel, man. Big salute to y'all brothers, a big thank you to y'all brothers. Now let's get to talking about this, man. You know, over the past couple of days, you know, it's been all over social media. The Newton County Pitbull fight, Operation Pitbull. It's been all over the news for the past few days, all over every social media platform. Now, can y'all believe that they got all that manpower together? They did all the stuff they needed to do to make that raid happen successfully, you know, on their end. Raid happened successfully on their end, but do y'all know that this whole time, when they making this plan to get these dogs, that the city of Call has a lack of resources and doesn't have an animal shelter. So they have nowhere to take the dogs in that city as far as a dog pound, animal shelter, or anything like that. So what happened after they made the bust, they take the 2 dogs off, the ones that was in the box. But when they come back to seize the other dogs on the property, the dog's gone. So now, hold up, let me let you see the article real quick. You know, so now, you know, they're saying they suspect some of the guys that was arrested came back and got the dogs after they made bail or however it went. You know, but I mean, that's I'm gonna say it like this, right? They can't really argue this situation. The people that they arrested, they can't argue this situation because they was caught in the act. You don't need 30 dogs, all you need is 2 dogs to say you was caught in the act. So, what they in trouble for, the dogs being took, it ain't gonna make no difference. You know what I'm saying? But what it will make a difference is if they came and got any of the dogs and any of the dogs were severely scratched up, then somebody would have got, how they start charging people for dog fighting, which is not a misdemeanor no more. And I told y'all brothers, as time go along, this situation ain't over yet. There's a lot of stuff about to come out on this Newton County dog fighting bus. There's a lot of stuff coming out, man. This shit just started. I can see the way it's unfold at the beginning. I can see the way it unfolded, that this shit just started. I'm gonna have news updates from this week after week after week. None of the people was from that city, so it clearly backs up what I was talking about. 40 cars coming from towns all over into a city. You don't know what the hell going on. You don't know that all y'all, you look so odd coming in town. Y'all seen all them fancy cars coming in? Out of 40 cars, there's no way in hell y'all gonna bring 40 low-ride cars in, low-key cars in. Somebody driving some big shit. You going out of town, you trying to ride good. Somebody driving something big. So this is what the police came up with. They said since they don't have an animal shelter, and nowhere to take the dogs in the future, they're gonna use all the vehicles that they seize and whatever property they seize. They say they seizing property as well because they know it was used for dog fighting. So somebody about to lose some acres of land, and the police gonna sell it, and they say they're gonna build an animal shelter facility in that area of Cole. As well as they still actively looking for the dogs, which they probably will never find, because one, you don't have no pictures to say, oh, I'm looking for this particular dog. Oh, I'm looking for that particular dog. I'm looking for this red and white dog named Lomax. He can have a different name when you find him, but you know how he look. You're not gonna find them dogs now. Them dogs are gone in the wind. But it's crazy when you think about how much time the police had to set up their situation, but yet nobody thought about where you gonna take these precious dogs at once you get them. It's like you're gonna bust somebody's house for child abuse, but yet you ain't got no way to take the kids when you take them out the home. Then it goes back to the topic that we always talk about when we say a lot of times, not this situation because they was busted in the act. A lot of times they take these dogs from better situations to worse situations. Everybody that was coming up under that dog bus thought them dogs were going from from a worse situation to better situations. Now, yeah, whoever gonna keep them dogs and make sure they don't fight, that's a better situation. But the dogs on the yard that it was coming to get to take somewhere, they would have had to go to all different cities, and they would have been straight then. But they didn't have it, ready on standby. If they would have had it ready, they would have took the dogs right then, and then they would have been like, okay, boom, we're taking the dogs to this animal shelter. Once they did it, I'm not sure if they was just didn't think that many people was gonna be there. It just overwhelmed them or something. I don't know what happened. But they're looking for the dogs. Like I said, that's a lost cause right now. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You don't know what kind of pit bulls you're looking for. The laws in that area of Texas, is so lenient that the citizens in that area and the people that's on that case, they're kind of mad because they get the folk are getting charged so lenient. Misdemeanors, and they out on $500 bills. $5,000, where we from, 5,000 is 500. 10%. So I done heard some talk about that, about the penalties not being stiff enough. Saying most that they can catch is a year in jail, at the most. And that's why I say, man, shit is crazy in different places. You know, every place had their own laws. Every place gonna govern their state the way they govern their state. You know, if it don't make federal laws, then it stays in the state. Then the state gonna govern it how they want to govern it. You know, and all states, you know, don't ship people off for animal cruelty. Some states you can just slap a dog one time and you might get 10 years. Another state you might can behead the dog and set the dog on fire, and you probably won't even get no probation or a little bit of probation. You know, so different states do different things, man. You know, I want y'all to check out one more news article, man. I want y'all to check out one more news article, and then we're gonna watch these. We're gonna talk a little bit about these police K9s real quick. But I want you to watch this news article where a man had I'm gonna say it like this. He had some type of problem with his neighbor. You know, his neighbor wasn't home. He went over and did something to the neighbor dog. You know, I want to say he shot at the dog or either shot the dog. He did something to the neighbor dog. Neighbor came home and stepped to him. When the neighbor stepped to him, he shot the neighbor down. So let's get into this, man. You know where you got it from first. It's your boy PB K9s, and we're going to get back into it when we're done with this.
Details tonight about what led up to a deadly shooting in Monroe County. We first told you about this last night. This Monroe County Sheriff's Office says Adam McGill was shot and killed yesterday morning on Big Creek Road. During the investigation, detectives say a woman told them her neighbor, Gregory Scott Williams, went into her house, shot her dog while no one was home. The woman and McGill came home and saw Williams driving away on a riding lawnmower. After finding the dog, McGill got onto his motorcycle to confront Williams, was shot, and he died. Detectives say Williams admitted to shooting the dog and firing a rifle at McGill's motorcycle. Williams now facing multiple charges, including first-degree murder and aggravated animal cruelty.
Now, I want us to look at this police K9 video, you know, because we always look at these police K9s and we think they super trained. Man, what you need to do is check this out, you know. When you do your research on these dogs, you know what I'm saying, all around the board, they got YouTube videos, internet videos, different documentaries and stuff. Do your research on these dogs, man. It takes special training to get the right ones. You know, a lot of police forces, they don't take the time to make sure they're getting the right one. A lot of police forces can't even afford the dogs. So they'll settle for the cheap end. You know, they'll settle for the cheap end. But I want you to watch this video, man, where these guys are running and folk are running, and the police send a dog, and the dog, he has his own mind. He does what he want to do, no matter how trained you think he is. You know what I'm saying? He does what he want to do when he want to do it. So you know where you heard it from first, man. It's your boy PB K9s giving you that good dog content the way you need it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, I hope everybody got a full stomach. Let's get into it.
Was observed driving recklessly at speeds over 130 miles per hour. Approximately 2 minutes later, the high-speed chase ended abruptly when Isaiah lost control of his car while attempting to dodge traffic at another light. An officer tried to follow him, but quickly realized something was wrong. Having quickly pulled his K9 off his colleague's arm, the handler maintains a tight grip on the dog's collar while pursuing Isaiah on foot. Meanwhile, the rest of the police officers arrive at the crash scene and collide with each other, escalating the situation to become increasingly chaotic and embarrassing. An officer then races to another roadway to prevent Isaiah from crossing it, but in doing so, almost kills him. After Isaiah narrowly escaped being flattened by a semi-truck, they release another K9 unit.
Shoot the dog! Shoot the dog! Shoot the dog!
Hold on, start EMS for me, please.
Remember the Keystone Cops? These officers are just as incompetent. If I re-edit it with some additional touches, it would look like a remastered episode of the Keystone Cops. Passenger in the car that Isaiah crashed into was injured and taken to the hospital. The officer who had been attacked sustained bite wounds on his arm. While these wounds healed relatively well, they left permanent scars. Officers who remained at the scene to search Isaiah's vehicle discovered 2 guns and marijuana. Isaiah was arrested and charged with speeding, reckless driving, hit and run, fleeing, possession of marijuana, and resisting arrest. In December 2023, he was arrested again, this time on charges of first-degree felony murder and second-degree attempted murder.
But it's your boy, man, K9s on the PBC, giving y'all that good dog news, the way you like it, the way you love it, fair, cut, raw, and unbiased. Stay safe, stay legal, and we out.